This is an awesome day. I am Sharon J. Hill, and in the public eye is Mr. Joe Beasley. How are you?
I'm doing great. Good to be here with you, Sharon.
It was awesome to be with you just a little while ago.
Well, thank you
My
for
goodness.
showing up.
Thank you. The time that you had with the people from China, the leaders in different regions of China, where you were sharing really what your life's work has been and where things are now, as well as what they're doing, and the encouragement that you gave them and the insight. The Georgia Council for International Visitors is an opportunity always to share globally issues, images, opportunities. So this time, can you just, how you say, round it out on what?
Well, this is a 60-year program. The U.S. State Department for the last 60 years have been inviting key people from different countries across the world for them to come to the United States and visit so-called best practices so that they can do their job better and learn more how the United States actually work.
Yes.
And these people from all over China. And I thought it was quite an interesting discussion, especially I thought about Africa. I don't know if you arrived. Yes, and what has happened up until very recently, the Western nations have exploited Africa for so long. 500 years we had the transatlantic slave trade that have, in fact, depending on who you ask, up to 25 million, some people say up to 50 million Africans was taken out of motherland Africa over a period of 500 years. And so many perished in the Middle Passage, up to half of them probably died because if you stack human beings in a ship like cords of wood and then have them on the high sea for a month, no ability to go to the restroom, it is just the worst thing that ever happened to humanity, no question about it. And then to be brought to the Western world, and I think one of the things that we have to really come to grips with is that only 41 million of us are here in the United States, but there is in fact another there's a total of 220 million Africans living in the Americas. And the big motherlode went to Brazil. That's 100 million Africans in Brazil. And of course, during this meeting, I think you maybe wasn't here then, but I had a call, I think 2 calls from Brazil.
Oh, okay, on the second call.
Yes. And,
is that another one?
no, excuse me, okay. So it's a very exciting time, and we, I think, need to make friends with people all over the world. Yeah. And I think the notion of 1% of the people in the world own 80% of all the wealth is something that just can't continue to happen. And I think with now, with the advances in technology and transportation, the world truly is very small. And so what happened in one part of the world instantaneously is known throughout the world. That's right. And I just think we have to find a way for us to, as Martin Luther King suggested, either we'll learn to live together as brothers and sisters or we'll perish apart as fools. And I think some of these, like the GCIV, they've been coming, meeting with me for at least the last 12, 13 years. And as a matter of fact, that's how I built a real network across the world, because it's not just an hour and a half meeting, but we make friends, and I've had invitations to travel pretty much all over the world as a result of these visits. And it's my hope that somehow, I think everybody, whether you're from China or wherever you're from, you understand what is right, because we just ask ourselves, what is it I want? How do I want to be treated? And you got to answer. You want to be treated with dignity. Awesome. And if we treat everybody else with dignity, then we'll have a better world.
Awesome. I was honored to be with you during that time, and this is you speaking to them about what the impact of China's presence in Africa, bridging what else needs to be done across the globe, including what has started in Brazil, what continues, and you rounded it out with regarding capitalism and how you nicely packaged it accordingly, really, and then you inserted the little known or little recognized fact regarding the Catholic influence within slavery.
Well, it's so interesting when you start talking about the isms. People become, I don't know, they shy away from it. Socialism, communism, capitalism. And for so long, because, I grew up much of my younger life, we had two superpowers in the world. We had the United States and the Soviet Union. And of course, they kind of balance one another off. And quite frankly, I often get the question, what American presidents have been best friends with African people. And I oftentimes say that the best friend that we had during the Civil Rights Movement was really Nikita Khrushchev from the Soviet Union, because as we were, the United States, going all over the world talking about human rights and how, and Mr. Khrushchev, raised a question, what about the black people, to our president, what about the black people? And that was a tremendous, I think, put it on the world stage.
Yes.
And when the likes of a Bull Connor, George Wallace,
yes.
Some of those graphics, the world just wouldn't tolerate kids and old people and anybody
Dr.
being with the
on
dogs
Sunday.
and
Yes.
and the bull hoses and the fire hoses rather. So it's an atrocious situation. But I think for at least 5 centuries, the Western world, robbed Africa of its human resources, and they claimed all of this time that we were really just a commodity to be bought and sold, and then they could solace themselves by saying, well, the best thing we ever done for black people and just now is not to get them out of Africa, give them a little civilization. But we know that civilization actually started in Africa. So it's been an interesting journey. What are we going to do?
Okay, can you talk now?
And they can't give no money to somebody that don't have any money.
Yeah, so I need to tell you something the doctor has told to me. But
You mean to call you back?
他也属于这里的会众啊，金门教的会众。
And he's a global man. He's been in China.
他也去过中国，他是一个世界旅游的人士。
And he's on the way to Brazil
现在
tomorrow.
明天就要去巴西。
And he's interested in having a better world.
他觉得呢，建造一个更好的世界就是他人生的愿景。
Do you want to say that?
Say, yeah. So, 你好，你好。
讲几句话呢？你好，你好。
My name is Kwanzaa Hall.
我的名字叫邝泽浩，
I'm a city councilor. I've served on city council for 13 years now.
市议员已经做了13年了，
And I've been to China twice.
已经去过中国2次，
I've been to Zhengzhou.
郑州。It's a cultural history, historic city，
yes.
是是是。
Loyang.
洛阳。
洛阳。
哦，洛阳。
Kaifeng.
开封。哦 ，very interesting choices.
Yes, been to Guangzhou, Hangzhou.
广州
Guangzhou,
Yeah.
Hangzhou. I got a suit made in Guangzhou.
在广州
One day. I've been to Shanghai, Beijing,
还去上海过、汉海、北京过。
but it was beautiful and great to connect with so many wonderful people.
我觉得真是一件非常美好的事情，能够来中国认识很多中国人，跟你们连接在一起。
We rode the high-speed train from Guangzhou to Hong Kong.
坐了高铁了，从广州坐到香港。
And we're really interested in looking at smart cities. I understand that you all are young leaders in different capacities.
我们都很希望能够跟各个不同的城市做上联系。我们都了解各位呢是来自不同城市的不同的领导。
And more than anything, I just wanted to share a sincere welcome on behalf of the entire city of Atlanta, our mayor, Mayor Reed, and the entire city council.
我代表我们的市长呢，还有我们整个市议会，在这儿竭诚的欢迎各位来到我们的亚特兰大市。
It means a lot that you've come to visit us, and we look forward to coming to see you soon.
真是意义深刻啊！能有各位中国来的朋友来到我们亚特兰大，我们也希望呢能够在中国很快的跟各位见面。
I'm gonna send, it's now being torn down to build a stadium. I'm very angry about that.
我们以前130几年以前呢，没有这个教堂，以前是去另外一个浸信会。那么我们那个以前去的那个浸信会，现在已经被拆了，要建一个体育场，我觉得非常的生气啊，因为已经算是历史性建筑物嘛。
They think our history don't matter.
在我们的历史里头呢，有时候不注意这些历史的这个建筑物啊。
那为什么这个照片有的是2个人？
Why? Some of the pictures show a couple, and some of the pictures only one
The
person.
deacon and their wives, for example, this is
就是他们的夫人，
boy, her husband is.
有的是夫人跟那个先生分开的。
Some of them they just came out in different. Some of them.
那就是随机的了啊，他们提供什么照片我们就放上来。